because there's a Game of Thrones series coming. There's actually going to do a few of them. They're talking about like 3 series right now, which is kind of crazy to me. But Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin came forward saying, hey, everybody, for Game of Thrones, we got lots of ideas, been spitballing ideas that had like live action that we're going to move forward, but now moving to animation, because apparently that might be a good phase he's thinking for some of these ideas that he's been making. But 3 animated series set in the world of song and ice and fire are being developed. One of them is based off of 9 Voyages. Now, this is a show that was focusing on the voyages of another Valerian. I have so many weird things in my head right now. But another one of the, it's an old school thing previously intended to be made as a live action thing, but it focused on legendary voyages of the sea snake over the live action to animation. And he said the sea snake story was supposed to be something huge, and they had all the idea written forward to move forward as a live action, and then Max like, let's just take it back, let's make it animated. And now they have 2 more. They're not really saying what there's going to be. There's not a lot of details about this, but he said they have 3 that are actually kind of cementally moving forward. They have writers involved with them, they have ideas, and they're starting to script things out, but they're not really saying much about this. But the idea is to take this franchise and now branch it out into more. Of course, we have House of the Dragon Season 2 coming. That's in the can. That's coming out this summer. And they're going to have another Jon Snow, maybe spinoff happening. That's still up in the air. But this is actually more cement, especially the one based off the 9 Voyages. So this is happening. Me, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like Game of Thrones so much. Do we need to go the animated route? Do we need to go crazy about this and start diving into Sunday morning cartoons about Game of Thrones? I don't think that's really what's meant to be. But to them, I think they're thinking this to be something really good. But I don't really, I'm fascinated by it. But everybody, I'm also like, I don't think it's that needed. Rachel, what do you think? Do you want to see a Game of Thrones animated series coming forward on Max, or do you think that they're overstretching this IP and trying to make it something that's not?
I think if it's well done, it could be good. To your point about Saturday morning cartoons and Glam's point here about it isn't for kids. Animation doesn't have to be for children. It doesn't have to go younger. It can absolutely be more adult-based. It can be violent. It can be graphic. It can be anything you want it to be. Animation is a great medium to portray fantasy stories in, because you can really show the fantastic without kind of spending $1 billion like they did on the live-action Game of Thrones series.
So much money.
So you can make dragons and stuff like that, and you can do it exciting, and you can do it more richly than you can maybe live action. Because like we all remember the last season of Game of Thrones and how fucking dark everything was. Everything was basically black because they wanted to lower the budget. So it's like let's lower the budget, make everything so you could just barely see it, and it'll be fine. So
forget about that.
Let's do some animation. Let's let it go.
It's very true. Maybe we could actually like benefit from the bright colors and like something more vibrant and a kids thing. We talk about the Alien series coming in.
Animation
kids
doesn't have to be bright colors either. You can do darker animation. So like animation is a very broad sort of medium. You can really
Harley Quinn's not your kid's story. That worked out really well for them.
I would love to talk about Scavenger's Reign too, right? Like that was a beautiful show, done for adults, obviously on HBO, and still like introducing a fantastical kind of world without, kind of playing it like cheaply or dumbing it down or anything. Like it was really good. But yeah, is it really Game of Thrones without nudity, torture, and incest? That's a great
question.
Point. It'd be funny if they did it. There's a comic book. I hate to bring comic books into everything. Oh God. But there is a great comic book series coming out right now called Dwellings, which kind of deals with murder and horror stories, but it's done in a way that's almost like it's a family circle kind of style, right? Like all the kids and people are all kind of exaggerated and whatnot, but the murder's real, and there's a lot of blood and disturbed people, and it's great. Hauntings are also in it. So do I want to see an animated series? I don't know. There's a lot already out there with Game of Thrones as is. I understood and know that they really want to, pump this for all that it's worth. I don't know. If it's telling a unique story, if it's telling a story that is filling in some of the holes or plot holes that are the things we didn't get to see in the show.
I'm doing the taxes. We need some taxes. Game of Thrones taxes, Sean.
How do you do taxes in Game of Thrones? How big is Littlefinger's Littlefinger? You never know. So these are questions that could
That's
come in.
Keep me up all night, Sean.
I don't know. Tell me that. I don't care about where the new book is. Tell me how fucking big is Littlefinger's little finger. That's it. That's all I want to know.
You can only find out in true form an animated version. That's the only way you can find out.
It's true. Hard hitting, dealing. Come on. We got to dive into it.
I feel like an anime. Do an anime style Game of Thrones.
An anime style might be pretty freaking cool. I might be a way to do it too, but again, they're not saying much details about this. We only got the one, and it's like just minor stuff. And then George R.R. is putting this forward because he's pretty excited about it. Of course, he is. Like
because he doesn't want to finish the next book. He's like, what?
Is that why he's doing this?
3 animation projects, so I don't have to think about finishing my stupid book.
So it's a bad idea then, Mike, or what?
Right? Do I think it's a bad idea, Mike? No, man. I want to see it. I'm about it. I don't know. Everything is okay. I'm just not used to people visiting me in the trunk when I have my headphones on. It really, really surprised me.
It's a great reaction.
Everybody's okay. It's gonna be fine.
Thank God.
That's good.
Answer.
I'm back safe, tied up in the trunk where I usually spend my time. I'm gonna watch it. Like I think that there's a lot. Like, I think the drama cartoon is really opening up to Western audiences. I don't think I've made time enough in my own life to do that. I know there's some great sci-fi anime series. I'm trying to figure out what these are. Yeah, there's just a bunch of great series that are on Netflix that they're putting resources into, and I really am interested in checking them out. I think that this could be great.
Oh, the new Scott Pilgrim show. Highly recommend that if you haven't seen that.
It was so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that one on Netflix? I got to get back on.
It is, yeah. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Highly recommend it. That was just a fun, different way of telling that story. I liked it a lot.
I loved it.
Do you guys think that the dramatic cartoon is really going to take off more than it has in the United States, or have I missed the train? Because I know like the manga section of Barnes and Noble or whatever, it just has exploded. Has exploded in the last decade. Yeah. So I don't know if cartoons will be that way too.
That's definitely. I've looked at some retailer notes from some comic book stores that I'm friendly with, and it's been known for probably the last 5 or 8 years right now that the growing style of graphic novel book is manga. That has been just blowing it away. It's an easy entry point for people. It is really good for like small groups to kind of glom onto and enjoy it. It kind of fosters conversation. It's unique. It's different, and young audiences are falling into it and enjoying it.
It gets kids reading, which is great.
Get kids reading, man. I'm all about that. Got to have the kids reading.
You got to make sure those kids are reading because it's very important. But this could be something good. It doesn't have to be kid friendly. It can be totally something that's for adults, and it could be fun. And Game of Thrones is a lot of content. Maybe they have one that's a kid's thing. Maybe they have one that's not. I mean, then again, like what we were saying before, I think it was David Banner says how you do without the incest and the violence and all the sex. I mean, that's not Game of Thrones, is it?
No.
You can. I mean,
no.
I don't think they will ever make a kid-centric property for Game of Thrones. And I think I think our culture needs to get past the idea that animation means kids.
Yes.
Animation is still not a super respected medium yet for film and television, and it really deserves a lot more respect than it gets. There's a lot of really beautiful adult animation out there. There's a lot of really funny adult animation out there, but that's the only people see animation as two things. They see it as comedy and they see it as children. And those are not, you shouldn't typecast an entire medium into two genres.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. And that's what people start thinking, but this could be something that's just great, Rachel. You're right. And Sean was saying there's a lot of people, the conversation that sparked my interest in this more than I had when I first saw it, because you're right, I probably went that same route too. I'm like animated, but this could be amazing. You're right, the special effects could be cheaper to make, and it could be something that you can continue the story forward that you couldn't do on live stream because they didn't have the money to do it, because there's only so much money in the world to make these Game of Thrones projects. They already got House of the Dragon, so why are they going to spend like another few million on another series or 3 more series? They probably can't afford that. The return probably isn't as great. So it's happening.
Well, especially with how hard they fumbled the end of Game of Thrones, the original series.
God.
Right there.
My favorite part of that darkness thing that you were talking about is you saw all the guys riding out with the torches, and then just one by one they just started going out, and I was like, "That's cool."
That was
but
a
also,
cool
like, I kind of want to see everyone just getting torn to
Right.
shreds by zombies.
Right.
That'd be great.
We've
Right,
seen smaller
right. We
scale
spent
zombie
5
fights.
seasons
Send
leading
all
up to
the
this.
Dothraki, whatever the fuck they are. Send all of them out, and they all just get slaughtered immediately. Show me that. And there was no payoff. I was just like, what the? This can't be this dark.
Yo, player, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pep Star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.